Tuesday is serious. Talk about important things. Okay, so for today, for Talk About It Tuesday, oh, maybe I should introduce, this is Adam.
Hello.
Hi, Adam. Adam doesn't have a YouTube channel where he posts videos.
No.
But he's going to be in this one. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Today, my question, he hasn't heard it yet. I haven't told him yet, have I?
No.
No. The question is,
I'm reading it off.
there. Can the relationships people form online be just as genuine and meaningful as those in real life? So, I've got my opinion. I'm actually going to put a link below, and you can go to my blog post. I realize there's floor here, but in the YouTube world, there's a beautiful little treasure box down below, and there's a little arrow. There's a treasure box. Yeah, there's a little arrow. There's a little arrow on the side that has like 2 little arrows, and you click that, and then it just opens this amazing treasure box of information. I have a blog post I've written about this, and you can read it if you want. If you don't, you can just listen to this and leave your comments below. First off, my first point, what we do online is real life. Do you agree? Disagree? He's trying to read it off of here. My point that I made, like, it's not fancy or anything, but it's not a machine typing comments. It's not, you know, some automated response, clicking all the likes on Facebook statuses. It's a person utilizing technology as a means of communication. And so, I mean, I will say people do change how they communicate online versus quote-unquote in real life, or shorten it to IRL for the purposes of this. But I think it's the same thing as changing how you communicate between writing things down on pen and paper or communicating over the telephone versus face-to-face. So you adapt to the medium in which you're using to communicate.
There is, I don't know how much research, because I've only read a couple articles, but one of the significant issues with online, well, the stuff that I've read is online significant relationships, is that there's significant loss of nonverbal cues that occurs in any online relationship, unless I'm assuming you're having video chat or something like that, then you have those nonverbal cues. But the article that so nonverbal cues, things like intonation of voice, so do you sound pissed, or do you sound happy, or you know, this.
Yeah, using your hands. Like if somebody, like if you're joking with one of your friends and you're like, wow, that looks great on you. Like, you're obviously being sarcastic, you're joking. But if you just write that online, you're like, wow, that looks great on you. You'll be like, oh my goodness, thank you, that looks great on me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You're really like, I hate that.
Yeah, there's actually, if I'm not mistaken, there's a whole field of study on like the way you type things and what the messages it sends. But so I mean, there's some one theory that I'm familiar with, and I can't remember the name of it because I've only read one article about it, but something to the effect that because of the lack of nonverbal cues, it actually, for significant relationships, like potential dating partners, it actually speeds up the process. So you could potentially get more intimate much more quickly when you have this kind of communication. You lose, because of the loss of nonverbal cues, but you also lose responsibility. So you have a lot of people...
Trolls. Trolls is the online terminology for the people who say, for example, this happened to me the other day. Somebody who does not know me felt the need to get on one of my videos of me and Christine and wrote, wow, you two are ugly even for trannies. But my point is that people feel like they lose responsibility for their actions because they're not doing it in real life. It's a lot easier to sit there and type something rather than have to tell a person face to face.
Yeah. So, I mean, the question of is it the same thing as in real life? It's not the same thing as in real life. I mean, yes, you are communicating, so it is literally real life, but it's the rules that apply in regular social interaction tend to get circumvented in online communication.
So the next part of the question, can relationships form, which, I mean, I don't think anybody would dispute that. Like, you can form relationships online, as long as, you know, you have some sort of connection point between two people and you have the opportunity for, as I put it, sustainable communication.
Reasonable. I mean, it works differently, but yeah.
I mean, it happens. I mean, I've had plenty of friends that actually have started out solely as friends online, and then we did actually transition to quote-unquote in real life friends. So I'll argue that, since I've been there.
I'll argue that too.
The next question, the next part that I broke it up into, is that can these relationships that form online be, I don't want to say that I arbitrarily, that's the word, I don't want to say that I arbitrarily chose these adjectives, but I guess, I mean, there's plenty you could choose from, but I chose, can the relationships be genuine, and can they be meaningful?
Genuine is a loaded word.
It is. It is. This is my reasoning for using the word genuine. I've noticed one thing online, specifically within communities such as YouTube, where you've got people trying to, let's say somebody's trying to make a name for themselves as a YouTuber, and they're going through and they are just finding people randomly and thank you.
Not verbal.
Oh, they're arbitrarily going around, they're finding people, writing them, telling them, oh, hey, I love your videos, they're so good. You should totally, I'm subscribing to you, you should totally subscribe to me. Let's say you have some communication back and forth. They're like, oh, wow, I really want to collab with you, I want to make a video with you.
Did you just say collab?
Collab. Yeah, that's the short name.
Collaborate.
For collaboration. It's something very common on YouTube.
I believe it.
Not a YouTuber. I have to show him everything. I had to show him Mr. Guitar Man.
Sorry, Mr. Guitar Man, you're very good.
Hi, Joe. Going back to the hypothetical example. Let's say that person that is randomly doing the communication, they're trying to communicate with people who have more subscribers with them in order to do collaborations with them to try and gain more subscribers. So, I mean, they could feasibly be trying to create this relationship that is not in the interest of both people. Oh, there's a phone. They're just doing it solely to, I don't know, use the other person. And
Well, people do that in normal life.
I know. But that's what I'm saying, like, can these relationships online be genuine? Can both of the people have the best interest of the other person in mind, and they're having I'm trying to think, like,
dialogue?
back and forth, not dialogue, but like a relationship that has good give and take. Mutually beneficial, but, I don't know, that still sounds so cold.
The reason I said genuine is a loaded term is because the few things that I have read show that people are different people online. Mm-hmm. So genuine, that's why I mean, what do you mean by genuine? Do you mean who they are in public? Do you mean
who they are personally?
Now, then that begs the question of, well, then what's genuine in real life? Is it what everybody sees, or is it what they are at home?
I say that. I feel that the most genuine of relationships is when you're able to, I don't be yourself. You're able to be that person that only the closest of friends sees.
Well, I mean, I would say potentially yes.
Going into academic terms and styles, blah, 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 blah. I'm being very scientific here. You would definitely want to define that terminology before getting into answering your question. Last point here, or it's not a point, it's a question. One of the things I asked myself is, do I prefer... What are you doing?
Question mark.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been trying to do little... Never mind.
Anyway. I was talking about, is there one type of relationship that I prefer, and I actually say that I prefer a hybrid. I really do honestly like having online communication and in real life time too. Because, as I pointed out earlier, because you're not having to communicate as much face to face, I feel like it's easier to type out the words. Like, I really like writing. I feel like it's easier to say things that might be harder to say without having to, like, stare the person in the face. And I feel like that kind of sounds bad saying that, but at the same time, like, I like being...
It is bad.
Thanks.
I'm joking.
No, but I like being able to say things that it's hard for me to say through online communication sometimes. Not all the time. There's some things, I guess, that I prefer saying in real life. I don't know. Like I said, it's a hybrid. I like having both. I really do. I don't know. Do you prefer one, or, like, would you rather have... I don't know.
I'm a person from the 50s transplanted, so, I mean, I even teach old-fashioned. I don't even use PowerPoint, so, me personally, I prefer face-to-face.
Face-to-face.
But that's just me. I don't know. I mean, like we've been talking about. I mean, you can have connections that are deep and meaningful with people online. It's just, for me, I feel it separates me yet one degree further from the person.
I think honestly most people would say they prefer face-to-face. I just like having both.
No, you don't have to defend it. It makes perfect sense. Especially for someone as integrated as you are.
Yeah. As I said, this is my compy. She is my baby. That's it for Talk About It Tuesday. Oh, don't forget to look in the treasure box below for the link to the blog post so you can read it. Just trying to open the treasure box. It's not working. I can't think of anything else.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Thank you.